Hello everyone and welcome to Macula Designs. In this video I'll be teaching you web interactive design of e-commerce website. Basically, I'll be showing you how you can present any shopping product from e-commerce website. This web animation and design is just a basic to teach you guys what kind of animations and interaction possibilities you can implement to create powerful and creative design to present to your client or company. These are not the only options. You can try many other ways with your own creative mind and skills. So without any further delay, let's get started. The first thing first, I'd like to inform you that I've already done my setup for this project. Here you can see colors and shopping cart icon already saved in asset panel. All I need to do is to just drag and drop to place it into my project. Now let's take a rectangle tool and create a 1920 by 1080 pixels of rectangle for background and remove the border. Give a color of red selecting from asset panel. Now take a pen tool and create a custom shape for navigation menu background. Hold Shift key and click on to draw a straight line. Perfect. Now select both the layers by holding Shift key and click on both the layers for multiple selection. Click top and left align options from alignment section to adjust the navigation menu background to the top left corner of the window. Now select the navigation menu background and rescale it if you think it is necessary, just like here as it seemed too small to me. With the selection of navigation menu background, open asset panel and give a gradient color. Perfect. Now as I don't have a logo, so here I'm selecting a text tool for logo, but you can add your own logo image by importing it into your project. It seemed too much space in line spacing, so let's adjust it by reducing a gap. Perfect. Again select the text tool and this time write the menu link content here as specs. Change the font type to Champagne and Limousines. Of course you can set any of your choice. With the selection of specs, hold Alt key and drag it to the right for duplicate layer. Double-click on it and type products. Repeat the last step again for another menu content with the name contact. Select multiple layers by holding Shift key and make sure all are center aligns. Now open the asset panel and drag the cart icon to the top right corner. Make sure it is aligns with navigation menu contents. Select all the layers by holding Shift key and press Ctrl+G to group it. Open the layer panel and give it a name Nav. Remember, grouping is very important in order to do web animation. It has to be same group name in every artboard in order to run the animation. Select the text tool and give a product heading laptop your office at desk. Give a font Arial rounded mount and font size to 50 pixels. Perfect. With the selection of product heading, hold Alt key and drag it down to duplicate the selected layer. Double-click on layer and type Acer. Resize to 30 pixels and make sure it is equally left aligned with the top heading. Again, select Text tool and draw a rectangle. Type any random words, then go to Menu. Plugin, Lorem Ipsum, and select Lorem Ipsum, Trim Height. This will automatically fill text based on width and height of text box that you drew it earlier. If you don't have Lorem Ipsum plugin, then make sure you download it, or of course you can type anything of your own in the text box. Change the font type to Champagne and Limousines, font weight as regular, and font size to 30 pixels. With the selection of subheading, hold Alt key and drag it down to duplicate the selected layer. Double-click on layer and type 14-inch. With the selection 14-inch, hold Alt key and drag it to right to duplicate the selected layer. Double-click on it and type Add to Cart. Press Alt+apostrophe key to view the artboard grid. Zoom in and select Pen tool. Draw down arrow and give it a white border with 2 pixels weight. Perfect. Rescale the arrow and adjust the position indeed. Press Alt+apostrophe key again to hide the artboard grid. Select the down arrow and 14-inch text by holding Shift key for multiple selection and press Ctrl+G to group it. Select a rectangle tool and draw a rectangle shape for a button. Uncheck the fill option and give white color of border with 2 pixels weight. Select the button and round it to at max. Resize the button if necessary. Perfect. Select the button and the group layer by holding Shift key for multiple selection and adjust it to the center align both vertically and horizontally. With both layers selected, press Ctrl+G to group it and give it a name Button 1. Great. With the selection of button, hold Alt key and drag it to right to duplicate the button layer. This time take Unfill option and uncheck the border option. Bring the text layer to the top of second button in order to be visible to see it. Give text a color of red from Asset panel. Select both the text and button shape layer and press Ctrl+G to group it. Give a group a name as Button 2. Great. Bring the navbar group to the top because we don't want other layers to overlap toward it when animation happen. Select the button layers and adjust the position. Make sure it is equally left aligned with product heading and equally spaced distance with other layers as well. Adjust button 2 with button 1 to make sure all are aligned. Now select button 2, button 1, text box, subheading, and heading layer by holding Shift key for multiple selection, press Ctrl+G to group it and give a name text. Perfect. Now import product image here. I've already copied from outsource so I'm pasting here by pressing Ctrl+P keys. Select the ellipse shape tool and draw small circle for navigation of multiple product images. And check the border and select repeat grid option. Holding circle right side and drag it to right for duplication. Drag it as much as you want a duplicate circle. For now I want 5. Perfect. Click on repeat grid again to ungrid it. Now select all the circles except the first one, and check fill option and check border option with color white and weight of 2 pixels. Let's zoom in and rearrange the circle to make it look more convenient based on your comfort. Now select all circles by holding Shift key and press Ctrl+G to group it. Give a group a name of Navigator. Rearrange the layers and make sure navbar group layer to be at the top. Great. Zoom out and adjust the position of Navigator to the bottom of product image. Select Navigator and product image by holding Shift key and click on Center Align option to align the Navigator to the center of product image. Select the ellipse tool and draw another circle, but this time little bigger than Navigator is for decoration, just to make more beautiful when animation happen. And check the border and with the circle selected, hold Alt key and drag it to top of product image's duplicated layer. Now with the second circle selected, hold Alt key and drag it to bottom right of product image as duplicated layer. This way we will have 3 circles. Select them all by holding Shift key for multiple selection and press Ctrl+G to group it. Give a group a name of decoration. Now select all the layers except navigation menu by holding Shift key for multiple selection, press Ctrl+G to group it and give a name Parallax. Make sure it should be below navigation menu layer. Select the artboard and give a height of 2160 pixels, which is exact twice of 1080 pixels. Let's zoom out until it fit to the screen. Select the product image, press and hold Alt key, then drag it down to have a duplicate layer. Reduce the image size and position it to the bottom of the artboard. Select the text group layer, press and hold Alt key. Drag it down to have a duplicate group layer. First change the color of heading to dark gray so that you can see it. Then change the color of text to lighter gray. Delete subheading and both the buttons layers. Double-click on heading and type Full HD. Reposition the group layer with the vertical center of the product image. Select the line tool and draw a label line which give a message to viewer that this is a description of labeled product part. Give a border line 2 pixels of weight. And use Add option to connect and combine both the label lines all together as into one shape. Reposition the label line and group it with text group. Select both the text group and product image, press Ctrl+G to group it and give it a name Page 2. Now select all the layers and press Ctrl+G to group it again. Now as everything is into one single group, it's time to do animation. Select Page 2 Group Text Layer Group, reduce the opacity to 0. Select Page 2 Group Product Image and reduce the opacity to 0. As both the layers are not visible, so hide the Page 2 by resizing the artboard to previous height, which is 1080 pixels. Perfect. Select the artboard and press Ctrl+D to duplicate the artboard. In this artboard I'll show you the animation steps. In this all I'll do is reposition the layers to the endpoint of the animation. Let's start with Text Group Layer. Select Text Group Layer and drag it to the outside of the artboard at north direction. Select Decoration Layer and drag it to same direction as Text Group Layer, but leave quarter of the layer on the artboard. I'll tell you why later in this video. Now select Product Image and drag to the north direction. Leave quarter of the image on the artboard. Select Navigator and drag to the north direction all the way outside from the artboard. Now select the product image that I just left quarter on the artboard, reduce the opacity to 0. Now same with decoration layer, select the layer and reduce the opacity all the way to 0. Lastly, select the background and drag it all the way outside of the artboard with north direction. All we are left with is navigation menu. Perfect. It's time to set the animation timeline setting. Select the first artboard and click on prototype. You will see a small blue arrow to the right center of the selected artboard. Click and drag it to another artboard, which will then pop up with an animation setting box. Set trigger to tape, which means animation won't start until you tape on the first artboard. If you want automatically start the animation, then set trigger to time. Don't worry, I'll show you this later in this video as well. For now, let's move to next step. Set action to auto animate. This part is very important. Next, set ease to ease in out. Of course, you can set anything else of your choice here. Now set the animation duration time to 3 seconds. Again, you can set your own time. Now this step isn't necessary, but I'm just doing it to show you repeated animation. So select the small blue arrow icon of second artboard, click and drag to the first artboard. This time I'll set trigger to time, set the animation delay to 2 seconds and leave rest of this setting as it is. This means once the animation is ended, it will take 2 seconds of pause and then auto-animate the first artboard with opposite animation direction. Mean from north direction to back to the original position as it is placed in the first artboard. Now for preview, let's first select the artboard so that the default preview screen will be selected artboard, which is first one. Click on play button to preview it. Now the animation will only be play when I'll tape on it. Once I tape, you will see all the layers will go to the north direction where I set their positions in second artboard accordingly. Once the animation complete, you will see 2 seconds of pause and then it will return back to the first artboard with opposite animation direction. See. Let's tap one more time to see it again. Perfect. Here is our parallax animation is completed. Let's move to the next animation part, which is page 2. Click anywhere inside artboard 2 and then select page 2 group layer. Drag it inside the artboard and increase the opacity of product image layer to 100%. Now select the product image and resize it to bigger image. Reposition it according to your satisfaction, but make sure it should seem as a second column. Don't worry about the text layer of page 2 group, leave it not visible because I'll use it for another animation in my third artboard. Select the second artboard and press Ctrl+D to duplicate the artboard. This time select the text layer group and increase their opacity to 100%. Because the product image is now bigger, so we need to readjust the text group layer position. Select the text group layer and align it with the product image top. Now select the label line layer. Okay, let's first zoom in to see it easily. I think first I should reposition the text group layer to drag to upward, little more like this. Great. Now select the label line layer and increase the length towards right until it reaches to the top of laptop screen image. Just like this, perfect. Now let's zoom out and again set the animation time setting for page 2 this time. Select the second artboard and click on prototype. Now select again this small blue arrow and drag it to the third artboard. Just change the delay duration from 2 seconds to 0.4 seconds and the animation duration from 3 seconds to 0.4 seconds. Leave rest of this setting as it is. Make sure trigger should be time and action should be auto animate. Now this step isn't necessary, but I'm just doing it to show you repeated animation. So select the small blue arrow icon of third artboard, click and drag to the first artboard. This time I'll change the delay time to 2 seconds and duration to 3 seconds. Leave rest of this setting as it is. Select the first artboard and click on play button to preview it. This time when I'll tap on it you will see parallax animation like before, but when it reached the second artboard you will see product image animation as well. You will notice the product image will get bigger constantly until it reached to the size that we set in artboard 2. After finishing product image animation, you will see a delay of 0.4 seconds and then you will see animation of text group layer. Lastly, 2 seconds of pause and then it will go all the way to the first artboard automatically. Let's tap it again as I think the text group layer animation seemed quite fast. Yes, it do seem too fast. Let's change the timeline by selecting the second artboard. Click on small blue arrow icon to get animation setting window. Let's change the duration to 2 seconds. I think that will then be too slow. Let's change it to 1 second. Let's preview it again by selecting the first artboard and click on play button. I think now it seemed a little bit slow, so let's change it to 0.8 seconds, which I think will be fine. Now let's move to our last part of animation, which is product image navigator. Means when a user will click on Navigator they should see another product image. Before moving to final animation, first let's zoom into first artboard. Now select the product image, press Alt key and drag it toward right to have duplicate layer. Select the second product image and resize it to small. Drag it all the way outside from the artboard towards right direction. Select both the product images and press Ctrl+G to group it and name it as products. Select the second product image and reduce the opacity to 0% for now. Perfect. Now let's select the first artboard, press Alt key and drag it to south direction from artboard 1 in order to have duplicate layer. Great. Now select the product group layer and select second product image. Increase the opacity to 100%, reposition and resize it exactly to first product image. Like this, perfect. Now select the first product image and drag it all the way outside from the artboard towards south direction and resize it to small. Now let first zoom in and select second navigator circle and check fill option with color white. select first navigator circle and then check fill option and give a white color of border with 2 pixels thickness. This indicate that user is viewing second product image. Perfect. Now zoom out and set the final animation of this video setting by selecting the first navigator circle from first artboard. Click on small blue arrow icon and drag it to fourth artboard. Set animation duration to 0.4 seconds and leave rest of this setting as it is. Make sure trigger is set to tape and action is auto animate. Perfect. Now select the second navigator circle from fourth artboard and click on small blue arrow to drag it to first artboard. Just make sure trigger is set to tap, action is set to auto animate and animation duration is 0.4 seconds. When a user will click on first navigator circle, it will show first product image. When a user will click on second navigator circle, it will show second product image. Great. Now let's select the first artboard and click on play to see final preview. Here when I'll select on second navigator, I should see second product image to animate from small size to bigger and should be exact position of first product image. You see how the first product image animate from bigger to small size and went all the way outside from the artboard. Now when I'll tap on first navigator circle, I should see my first product image to be back to its original position and size and my second product image should go back to where it was previously. Perfect. Now if I tap anywhere beside navigator I should see parallax animation first, then page 2 animation. Perfect. So here comes the end of the video section. I hope you find this video useful and if you have any problem following my steps or have better ways of doing it, then please share it in the comment section below. It will be great learning for me to have a feedback from you guys and to know what you guys think of this video tutorial. If you do enjoyed this video and find helpful then give a video thumbs up and do share it. If you haven't subscribed my channel yet then do subscribe and click the bell icon in order not to miss any future useful videos from my channel. Thank you and see you in the next video.